Man try to keep me down, I'ma still find a way. Man try to keep me down, I'ma still find a way. Ha. So here what we gonna do tonight. After all these, you know what? They done angered me. So now I must do this. Y'all, they done unleashed the fury. They done unleashed the Mung Fury. What up, Theo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me give you max volume here. All right, I got you in full effect, bruh. They done pissed me off, Theo.
No, now.
They done turned me into the Wakandan sorcerer. Why they do that? They don't want the Wakandans. They don't want the Wakandan sorcerer, fam. Okay, and which is apropos for the subject we're gonna dive into. Well, let me see, who is it? We got 4 people in here in the live. Y'all make some noise. Y'all holla. Let me know y'all in the building real quick, like. It's been years since I wore a ball cap backwards. Can
What is going on? My dog done changed up. My dog switched up the outfit and everything.
Bruh, they done. Hey, yo, Diabolical, what's good, man? All this. Mr. Martin. Yes, we are back. We're back, and we in the building, and we ready to do some things. I got Theo through the magic of Ma Bell. That's an old reference, but there's some old people in here, so I know they get it. Anywho, the topic we had started up on, I wasn't gonna be mean, but you know what I'm saying? It's just maybe that's their way. Keita, hi Keita, what up, Gray? Thank y'all for being here and being patient with the system and the man trying to keep a brother down, but you can't keep a good brother down. Can't keep good brothers down because my man Theo is in here too. So through the magic of telephonery. Say what up to the peeps, Theo.
What's up? What's good? What's popping? What's cracking? What's sprinkling? What's really good in the hood? Y'all know we gonna make it do what it do. We gonna make it do what it do.
Okay. Okay, Jeffrey. Good afternoon, Jeffrey. It's what, 7 of y'all? Bet that's enough. That's all. That's almost double the quorum. Anyway, me and Theo was talking this morning, and he had presented a video to me about the Egyptians wanting to cancel Kevin Hart because he called them black. Theo, can I get your thoughts?
I mean, he wasn't the first one to call them black. Why they not mad at the first people to say that? Like, well, as we said, as I told you in the earlier video, it's laughable to me. I can't even take it seriously because it's 2023. Now, being intelligent, educated, I know, just like other educated people know, that once upon a time, before 2 people came along, there was no color. You were either called where you were from, where you at, or what religion you practice. That's what that was. So you got these 2 dudes that you have quite a few African Americans swear up and down that they don't believe anything that white folks say. But you believe what they say though on this particular issue, i.e. you black. Who told you was black? Like that, who told you was black? Well, where that come from? Let me guess, the same person that told you was a nigga.
Yeah.
Do what you gonna do. When you know better, you do better. I can't have certain conversations with people and arguing about the color of the Egyptian. If they ain't black, I ain't either. How about that one? How about that one? I believe in equal energy. You ain't black, I ain't either, so don't call me black. That fair?
That is more than fair. That is more than fair.
If you ain't black, I ain't black either. Because I know why people call me black, which is the same reason why Kevin Hart called you black. But if you ain't black, I ain't black either, because black ain't on the map. Black is nowhere on the map. So
and look at, like I was saying, look at it from the perspective that I was coming at it from, as in people modern day, and that's important. Modern day Egyptians refer to themselves as Egyptians the same way Americans refer to themselves as American. But just like the people in America failed to factor in the colonization of the indigenous people of the Americas, and the indigenous people of America to this very day still got to fight for their rights, still got to fight for their identity, still got to fight for a gang of shit. Okay, now here we are over in Egypt, and they doing the same exact thing. I have relatives and friends who have visited Egypt, and they told me there are a gang of dark-skinned people in Egypt. A gang of dark-skinned people in Egypt who have been there for more than one generation, 2 generations, 3 generations, 4, 5, 10, 20. But from the outside looking in, y'all trying to paint this picture that there are no black people at all in Egypt.
I can't have a conversation with them, because while I don't agree with it, even in America, they acknowledge race, i.e. color. So if you're an Egyptian and you calling yourself an American, much like Americans call them, you calling yourself an Egyptian, much like an American call themselves an American, then you do acknowledge color. And the fact that we even having a discussion that Egyptians are getting mad about it, it's a dumb conversation. For you getting mad about a color, you realize you're acknowledging the color. You're in them getting mad about the color, they're acknowledging the viability of the color, even though the color don't exist. Like, I would be impressed if an Egyptian said, well, since there's no such thing as color, I'm Egyptian, I'm not black. If they would have, if somebody was to say that, I'd be like, you know what? I'm with that all day. I feel what you're coming from. But you're saying you're Egyptian. You're standing on where you're from. Okay. Well, if you're standing on where you're from, then stop acknowledging the color. You should be able to tell Kevin Hart there's no such thing as color. But you, as an Egyptian who are living literally on the continent to which 2 white dudes said now makes you black, are telling a dude who is descended from that continent that you're not black, but he is. Make it make sense.
Hello. And in the comments, Gray. Hey, Gray. Gray said, what up, by the way, Theo?
What's going on?
Gray said, I haven't seen nobody get mad at the ancient Greeks once about calling the ancient Egyptians black. Hey, Grandmadam. Ain't nobody mad at the Greeks.
Wait, hold on. I look at it like this, because I could be petty all damn day. Is you mad that Kent Nelson is Caucasian? Is you? Because that's an Egyptian superhero. Okay, well, what about Mark Spector? Are you mad that Mark Spector is Catholic? Because that's an Egyptian superhero. What about Jaime Reyes? Because this damn scarab comes from Egypt. You're not mad about that one? You're not. Well, okay. Well, damn. Tef Adam, Black Adam. Was you mad that Dwayne Johnson played him? Because his ass is Egyptian, and he was played by a whole damn Samoan. Or maybe you gave Dwayne Johnson a pass by and large because he don't consider himself black either. Man, I ain't got time for it. I wish an Egyptian would. That's where I'm at with the conversation. I can't have a stupid conversation with a stupid person because I believe stupidity is contagious, and that is the stupidest conversation to have. You don't like color, you don't like racism, but here I'm gonna say you don't like color, you don't like race as an identifier, but you're literally signing off on what two white dudes told you during the 1700s. All right.
And now all of this outcry, specifically with this Cleopatra crap. Okay, since we're all being petty, petty gang, gather round. Okay, I'm going back to the Elizabeth Taylor thing. I'm going back to the Leonore Varela thing. I'm going back to the Virginia Manson thing. Okay, wasn't no lawsuits coming out. Wasn't no Egyptian lawyers suing nobody back in 99. Wasn't nobody suing nobody back in 63. But all of a sudden, peasy hair, big nose, big lips. Oh, I'm filing a lawsuit. Does that remind you of another country in which you live in where people of differing races do the same kind of dumb, petty shit? It's race. At the end of the day, you can color it whatever you want to color it. It's a race issue. You mongs over in Egypt are racist towards dark-skinned people. Period. I'm saying it. I'm saying it out loud.
You're not wrong. And that's why I said, if they were to tell Kevin Hart, hey, I'm not black because color don't exist, I wouldn't open my mouth. I wouldn't say nothing. But in telling somebody you're not a color, in the same conversation, you're acknowledging that color exists. Well, if the only reason why the color exists is because two Europeans came and told folks that if you from certain continents, you are this particular race and thus this particular color. Man, pick one. Help me make up my damn mind. Which one you want me to be upset about? Because one of these I might actually agree with you with. But you can't have it both ways.
Because the bottom line, you're trying to deny the existence and legacy of the people whose freaking shoulders you are literally standing on. Okay? You're trying to say, here, Gray in the comments, again, he said those Egyptians claiming to be true Egyptians is like Charlize Theron claiming to be Zulu. Okay? Yeah, girl, you from South Africa. You was born in South Africa. But if we trace your folks back a couple 100,000 generations, y'all ain't nowhere to be found.
Like I said, if I'm black, you black too. Blumenbach and the niggas called you black, I'm gonna call you. If that's what we doing, if we going off Blumenbach and Linnaeus, I'm gonna call you black. Now, if we ain't going off of what they saying, then you Egyptian. But if we going off of what they saying, then you black. You black, I'm black. Everybody over there from that continent black. Now what?
Everybody over there on that continent is definitely African. They don't even like being referred to as Africans. Then why did you come to the continent to live if you didn't want to be referred to as African? Egypt is in Africa. Therefore, your ass is African.
And what did Linnaeus and Blumenbach say? If your ass is African, your ass is black.
But they don't like. They don't want that connotation. They don't want that connotation associated with them because you see how they rage and rail over a black woman versus an Italian woman or a Chilean woman.
Well, I don't want that connotation associated with me either. But I believe in equal energy. So if they gonna stop calling everybody African descent black, or they gonna keep that going on? Are they gonna stop referring to European people, people of European descent as white? When it comes to Spanish people, we're not gonna call them brown. Asian people, we're not gonna call them yellow. Whose gospel are you practicing at the end of the day? Pick one. That's all I got. That's all I got for anybody at the end of the day.
Let me dive in the comments again, Theo. I got Paul Martin. He said at the very least, Sophia Loren could have been Cleopatra if they were going to cast a white lady. Didn't she?
Yes, she did. She was Italian.
Okay. And since we talking about Italian, Monica Bellucci did too. So they close. They closer to the region, but I'm still giving them side eye. Diabolical said, my biggest thing is the people that call themselves Egyptian that deny the people before them is why all of a sudden, once the people on the walls disappeared, the buildings of pyramids stopped. Okay, but we ain't got. And I actually had an Egyptian person say to me, "Do you even know how pyramids are built?" Yeah, I do. Do you? They talking about finding out how the pyramids are. We already know how the pyramids is built, bro. I don't know what y'all on. It ain't a pyramid. It ain't a pyramid. It's a diamond, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah, I know exactly how the pyramids are built. Stop the cap. Okay, it ain't. It ain't about that though. It ain't about that. It's about race.
Right. Keep it right there. Now watch this. That conversation is no different to me than somebody making this statement right here. All the black people are taking roles normally reserved for redheads. That's what that conversation is. Because it's like, you want me to get into a faulty logic conversation. Like, I can't even acknowledge that because off the rip, no different than when somebody from Egypt says, I'm not black. I know off the rip, I'm about to have a conversation with a stupid individual. And that's a rabbit hole I just don't believe in going down. It's something to be said for higher learning. I did go to college. I am learned. I am well read. And I don't believe in dumbing myself down for somebody that hasn't done that. I'm just not going to do that. We did that with Whole Flavor Love, and you see where we at now when it comes to entertainment. So thank you.
Hey, Gray says they don't want to open up no more sarcophaguses and get disappointed. He also said, look at that photo. Look at that photo of Zendaya and Anne Hathaway at that Mediterranean fashion show. You can easily tell who's the Egyptian and who's cosplaying. And I'll do you one better than that. Take a look at a picture of Anwar Sadat. Anwar Sadat looks like freaking George Jefferson. Okay? But y'all trying to tell me Egyptians ain't black. And the man was born and died in Egypt.
You know what? Can I be petty for a second?
Go for it.
You know what? Because I'm like this. I believe in equal energy. And I was raised, and we all were. We changed as we got older. But as kids, when we would come home and tell mama now, grandmama now, granddaddy now, such and such, so-and-so down the street, around the corner, don't want to play with you and everything, they say, you know what, you ain't got to go play with them. To hell with them, go find you some new damn friends. Don't come in my face with this no damn more. I'm going to beat your ass my damn self. That's what we got told. And we can go find us some new friends. You know what? I'm tired. You ain't got to F with me. You know what? Give me my music. Don't play my music. I better not catch one Egyptian person playing nothing black. Don't play nothing black. Don't root for nothing black. Don't talk nothing black. Don't wear nothing black. Just stay where you at. If this is how you feel, because I believe in equal energy. You don't want to fool with me. I ain't got to fool with you. You don't like me. I don't like you either. Fine. I better not see an Egyptian. I better not hear no Egyptian playing no rap, nothing. No Beyonce. She off limits. You don't get Beyonce no damn more. Matter of fact, we're gonna go to all the fraternities and all the sororities and tell them to take your shit off. Because that's the only way you getting some pub over here in America anyway, because you got folks that look like us repping you all damn day, twice on Sunday, making you blow the hell up. So you're not gonna get that shine no more. You're gonna go to all them. We can do it now if that's what you want. Like Kool in the Gang said, you can have it any time of the day. Just tell me how you want it. Like Drew Hill say, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want.
Okay. They obviously don't know where I'm at right now. Sure, opinions are like assholes, sir. But thanks for sharing. People still, because he made a comment about my hoodie, like it would look more dope if the strings wasn't there.
Man, I like that damn hoodie. The hell with sure.
That and hence my response. Opinions is like assholes. But he did say people still say black couldn't have ruled all of Egypt, but Native Americans can migrate to Canada, USA, and Mexico for generations. Now, on that, I'm feeling you. Okay, that's 100% facts. Okay, and another thing, Egypt seems to be suffering from the same disease that some of the folks in Cuba and some of the folks in the Dominican Republic are suffering for. I guess it's called I don't recognize my black, because the Dominican Republic is sitting right next to a whole nother country full of black people, and it's like, what? You're not black? So I don't want to jump. I don't want to jump over there and jump on them. I'm just saying the mentality. It's the same kind of mentality. But I mean, and it go right back to what you're saying. The way people depict it, the way people talk, the way people treat, why would you want to be? Look at if the world can see what's being done, perpetrated about and against a lot of black people, or a lot of the black population in this country, nah, because black means you get persecuted, I guess, in their eyes. Black means you're seen as less than in their eyes. It's weak, but I could get that mentality if that's where they're at. I don't want to be considered black, because if you consider me black, y'all gonna start doing stuff to us like they do to black people in Europe and like they do to black people in America. So I get that. It ain't an excuse. It ain't an excuse.
When they watch it, this be good, because I like to just get to the real level. Because okay, here we go. America. I'm gonna shift gears a little bit, but still stay in the same lane where we at. America. It's a big old melting pot. I mean, I know we don't really get along with each other over here and everything like that, but for a melting pot of people that don't really get along with each other, we done accomplished a lot of stuff over here in this country. Even though we don't really like each other like that. Imagine if we like each other. Okay? Now let me put that over there in that particular corner. Okay, so if you're an American, who you rooting for during the Olympics? Summer Olympics, basketball. Who you rooting for? Because I know who I'm rooting for. Who you rooting for? As an American. As an American now. As an American. Who you rooting for? During the Winter Olympics, regardless of what you call yourself. Who you rooting for during the Winter Olympics? Because I watch me some bobsledding. I do. Hockey team. I do. The slalom. I'm all on that. I'm rooting for us. Watch this. Who you rooting for during the X Games? I'm an American. African American. I'm an American. The only time I'm really cheering for another country during the Olympics is during the Summer Olympics when I got the Jamaicans out there. I'm rooting for them all day, every day. I don't really care, especially the women's track team. I'm equal opportunity then. But when you talk about us, we make the world go round. We make the world go round. They wearing Jordans. You don't like Mike, but you got his shoes on. You got a whole football player playing for the San Francisco 49ers. Just as conservative as he want to be. He don't do nothing but suit up in Jordans on Sunday. Ain't that what that is?
That is exactly what that is.
Well, I know we don't want to talk about who came before Elvis Presley, but you did benefit from that dude coming before Elvis Presley, because if he didn't come before Elvis Presley wouldn't have been Elvis Presley. That's just what that is.
Hey, Theo, I don't mean to cut you off, but let me get some of these comments in.
Go ahead.
Diabolical. He's agreeing with Gray, and Gray said, far as our ancestors that were stolen from the motherland, they were indeed stripped of their identity of their natural land and were given titles, black, Negro, etc., while they maintained their ID of their land. Grand Madam said, Anwar Sadat looked exactly like my great grandfather, so I know who I am. Thank you for that, Grand Madam. Sometimes it's like I feel like I'm on an island, and I'm like, because I worked for years years with an Egyptian woman who had peasy hair, big nose, lips, but she was light-skinned, but was Egyptian as could be. I understand there's diversity, but y'all got to understand where that diversity originates from. I don't think they get that. They're in denial of that. Ashura says Haiti equals Dominican Republic. They're the same country. Yes, exactly. Same landmass, two different mindsets. I do not get that. I do. In reference to my hoodie, Ashura said, I just want one.
Listen, I get that.
Okay, respect then. Okay.
Don't we all, Ashura? Don't we all?
Diabolical Nerd said, LOL, I root for the brown people. Okay? Brown. And that's what we should be called. All right, honestly, brown people. We the damn brown people.
If you gonna get it right. Like, you know, if you gonna say it right. Like this, don't be just throwing stuff over here because you like it. And why are we identifying with labels that somebody else gave us?
It all boiled down to what Harriet Tubman said. I could have freed more people, but they wanted to remain slaves because mentally in their minds, mentally means in your mind. Okay, mentally, they were still slaves. You can't free somebody. It's a lot harder to free somebody from a mentality than it is to physically free them.
And you almost got to just go along with it, like, because your opinion is going to be unpopular. Like, you got to go along with being called black. Like, you like, that don't make no damn sense. For real, it don't. But you ostracize if you don't go along with that. You got to go along with the N-word. Even though you don't like it, you don't agree with it, you know its origin. Because so many of us, like, you're like, okay, all right. That is a damn shame.
It is. And now, while I don't want to spend the entire live dwelling on it, I'm gonna get these last couple comments. Theo, I want you to give me your overall synopsis. What you think? What you think about it? Does it need an enema? Does it need a colonoscopy? What does it need? Because there's a bunch of something. I ain't gonna say it, but there's a bunch of something.
Listen, I'm gonna say both. Because listen, when you know what those two things are and what they really do for your system, your overall health system, I mean both of them.
We need to dispense with that. We need to get rid of that because that's a whole country or a good part of it being permeated with a specific kind of mindset. They're complaining about who the actors are playing Egyptians, yet I personally can only name one Egyptian actor in Hollywood. And he looks like a Caucasian person. Rami Malek, the guy who played Freddie Mercury in the Queen movie. He's actually of Egyptian descent. So why don't y'all put some resources in y'all country into y'all film industry and hire Egyptian actresses to play Egyptian roles? How hard is that? Japan been doing it for years. China been doing it for years. India been doing it for years. Did you get cut off, Theo?
I think.
Never mind. I'm sorry. You in there? You know what happened, Theo?
What?
My wife got home and the Bluetooth went to the car. So yeah, that happens sometimes. That's a controllable technical difficulty. But you were saying? Oh shit, you back out there. You were saying? There.
Yes, sir.
You were saying.
The daggone. Uh, okay, we move the world. That's all. That's done behind conversations when at the end of the day, at the root of it all is race. And I'm too old to keep discussing race. Like, you gotta give me something else on the table. I'm not gonna keep doing that.
I hear you. Okay, so I'm gonna get the last couple comments and then we're gonna move on. Right here. Okay, Diabolical said people don't want to talk about how the White House was built either. Hang on a second. Whatever's going on with the corn, stop. You're making the stuff moving now. Okay, then why does it keep moving now? Okay, whatever you got going on. Ah, my bad. Okay. Comments. My stripper stage name is Mahogany Brown. Diabolical. What are you what are you talking about? People keep calling me black, but my skin is brown. Most people don't look what they appear as. Oh, I've been saying that for years, sure. Why are you calling us black? I did laugh when the Egyptians were capping from portrayals of white people. That was okay, but on brown people. Liquefied, hey, what's up? Didn't say anything about Exodus, gods of Egypt.
Nope, ain't say nothing. I definitely ain't hear nothing about that one. I heard more from us about that one than I heard from them. I ain't hear nothing.
There you go. I want to go. I'm going to do an absolutely horrible segue. I'm just going to segue because I'm gonna leave that thought because the more I think about it, the more I want to. No, sure. If Theo can let us in on what goes on in Casa del Theo, then I can let y'all in on what goes on in Casa del Rio. Ain't no shame in my game. Liquefier, she said, I rarely say black these days, although it does roll off the tongue. I say melanite. I like that. Melanite.
Right.
I say melanite now. It resonates. It does. Just when I read it right there, it resonated with me. Melanite. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to train my brain to go melanite. Yes, the English language is something else. But okay, now for my raggedy segue. The Flash. That's my raggedy segue. The Flash.
I mean, hey, if they like it, I love it. You feel me? Like, if they like it, I love it. I read the comic. I think visually speaking, the comic did a whole. I actually saw the cartoon too. The animated cartoon. I think I'm good. I ain't mad at anybody that went.
What peep game then?
Paying me to go to it.
Right.
I don't believe in wasting my money, as Grace said last night. Who run into a burning house? So I'm good.
Hey, and this is my thing. Stop hollering about Ezra Miller. And these allegations and what he did and what he didn't do and what he is a terrible, terrible, terrible Flash. He is the worst Flash I've ever seen in live action. John Wesley Shipp is a better Flash.
Wait, now you wait. I don't like when you say that because now I like John Wesley Shippen. You make
hang on, what I understand what I'm understand what I'm saying, Theo. Okay, when I say if I didn't like Christian Bale as a Batman, and if I'm being honest, he's one of my least favorite Batmans. The movies he was in were great, but not because of his portrayal of Batman. It would be the equivalent of me saying something like Adam West gave a better performance as Batman than Christian Bale. It's not a knock on Adam West so much as it is on Christian Bale. So that's what I'm talking about when I say I enjoyed John Wesley Shipp coming home and watching the Flash with his buff puffy suit and all of that. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching that show. You know what I mean? When he had the clone and they had the Dark Flash, and I was thoroughly entertained with that. Ezra Miller in Flat? Nah. I wish I had 4 hands so I could give that movie 4 thumbs down.
I don't. There's so many things that's weird about that movie. Like, not even the movie, because we can go all the way back to Justice League. Barry Allen is blonde. I get it. Grant Gustin pulled it off, but Barry Allen is blonde. Like, just Barry Allen is blonde. He is. And he ain't no frail dude. I get it. Grant Gustin was able to pull it off. So we know Grant Gustin can't add weight for nothing in the world. He's been trying his whole life. We know that.
Yeah, but in his defense,
cast that dude in the first place.
In his defense, he does have a runner's build.
Talking about Grant Gustin?
Yes.
He worked at it though, you know what I'm saying? Because
regardless of what he did, he was bad. He appeared in his whole image. He was a better looking Flash.
I don't disagree with that. My question is, with that even being said, why did you cast Ezra Miller in the first place? Why? Like, Barry Allen blonde. You know, when's the last? When did we ever get a blonde Barry Allen? Like, people be talking about skin complexion and stuff like that. The blondes ain't got nothing to say. They characters getting taken left and right.
I guess they've been in enough movies and things, so they're satisfied.
Like, I don't. And then what is this whole? I'm acting like you can see me. What is this whole running style he got going on?
That's what's going on in the chat. That's what everybody's talking about.
Like, who looked at that running style and said, "Oh yeah, that shit right there"?
That was terrible. That was terrible. Here, check. Gray said his was a bootleg exclusive. I feel you, Gray. Diabolical Nerd said my son and I watched The Flash by means unknown. I'm glad it's getting a reboot. Just terrible, horrible Flash, the stupid running. I'm like, WTF is that? You and the rest of the world, Diabolical. Grand Madam, I can't believe that I'm saying it, but in my opinion, yes. Yes, as far as a movie go, yeah, it was worse than Wakanda Forever.
You know what's sad? Well, I'm not gonna say sad because the dude got more viewers than me. I just said it first. Critical Thinking said the exact same thing tonight that I said last night in regards to the movies. He also voiced the concern because when you look at old boy over there in DC, he got a 10-year plan. Bro, you're not gonna make it 10 years. Like, he's basically was saying the same thing. He's concerned. Like, people not understanding that I can like what I like, but if they keep releasing bad movies, I'm not gonna be happy about that because after a while they're just gonna stop with the superhero movies altogether, and then we're gonna be back to animation.
Which, in my opinion, was infinitely better because they knew how to stick the canon a lot closer than what these movies are doing. Paul Martin said the Trinity was the best part of the JLA movie. Gray said Ezra running is like Steven Seagal running in his movies in the 90s.
Right.
I remember. I remember that. I remember that crappy running style. Yes, I do. Diabolical said, Grand Madam, I'm only read the plot of BP2, never watched. Both are more than likely in the same ballpark of not being worth more than 2 dead flies. Keaton was the only saving grace. Edward Stewart, welcome Edward Stewart. He said, New Flash 2024 ASAP. Grand Madam said, dead flies. Damn.
I go back to what I said last night. I don't know how you're getting it wrong as a comic book company. Like, I don't know, as a comic book company, it's almost at this point, you got to be intentionally getting it wrong. Like, I don't know how you keep getting that wrong. Like, Disney, here we go. The only thing Disney is going to do wrong to hurt something that they've done, one of those princess movies, is if they gender ban or race swap. Other than that, the Little Mermaid is the Little Mermaid. We like the Lion King. We're not gonna act like that. We like the Lion King. You know, Peter Pan. You know, hey, it is what it is. But apparently, Disney, as a children's entertainment company, you don't know what you're doing with adult IPs. You don't know what you're doing with Star Wars. Let that go. And you're not going to hire anybody to run Star Wars because there might be an ideology difference. So you're not going to hire somebody to run that IP for it to be successful as it would be under its own ideology. Same thing with the comics. You're making changes to the comics, to the characters, upsetting the people that read the comics. It's ideology difference.
It's the people they hiring for the job. It's the people that they are hiring and turning the reins over and saying, this is all on you. As far as Star Wars, you might want to talk to Kathleen Kennedy. She could probably answer. She could probably answer a lot of those questions that need answering in regard to the Star Wars franchise. As far as WB, who in turn, has ownership of DC, probably the oldest, if not the oldest, existing comic book company around. Y'all don't know nothing about making comic movies. Your comic movies suck. You supposed to be the example that everybody else get behind. But I can see that I am in error when making such an assumption with regard to somebody like DC Comics. Again, and it all goes back to who they hiring and what the people they hiring's agenda is. Do you think that Peter Gunn is trying to burn Marvel to the ground? I mean, burn DC to the ground through making crap movies? Or allowing crap movies to be made, or giving the okay for crap movies to be made?
I just don't think he know what he's doing. I mean,
Peter Gunn?
Well, not that. Okay, watch this. I was thinking James Gunn.
I'm sorry, James Gunn. That's what I meant. I said Peter Gunn. I meant James Gunn. Peter Gunn. I got to think about rap songs. Anyway, go ahead.
Right. When I look at it right there, because, we can sit back and say, well, he didn't have any choice when it came to the Flash. He had to do what he had to do. That wasn't his move. Don't put it out, because your name is still attached to it. Don't put it out.
Should have dropped that Batgirl. It couldn't have been no worse than Flash.
Right. But me, as a comic book consumer, I got questions, because I'm like, well, damn, y'all sitting up here and y'all letting Amazon come out of nowhere and drop better superhero content. How is that even possible? What was that? The Invincibles?
Invincible, The Boys.
The Boys. Now they don't have as much money as you do. They don't have as much money as Warner Brothers and Marvel.
It's still a better show. I'd rather watch a season of The Boys than watch a DC movie.
Why might that be? Because the people over the showrunner cares about the comic book, i.e. the source material.
Well, if anything, because of the nature of the boys, they had to do a lot of toning down of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They had to make it's a lot more gratuitous than what you see on the show, but they still are trying to preserve that essence of what the comic is. They ain't just trying to say, oh, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna bastardize it and I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna create something else. If that's the case, don't use that IP. Just create something else, like they did with what was it? The one with Sylvester Stallone, Samaritan.
Yes.
Okay, not a great movie. But at least you had a unique concept and you tried to run with it.
You didn't do something different to something that's already existing. And I it's one of the things where it's like, I know I'm probably gonna get tired of talking about it in the next few days, if not the next week or so. The issue, the problems plaguing superhero movies is obvious. I'm not gonna keep talking about it because I've been checked out. I'm not spending money. I don't have to review the product. I'm not being paid to go watch the product, so I don't have to do that. If you don't want to listen to what the fans are telling you they want to see, because the fans are the ones that's paying for it. It ain't like you paying the fans to go see it. You have to satisfy that fan base. If that's not your concern, I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. It's just not. Because there's too many of us saying it now. There's too many of us saying it.
Facts.
Across all demographics, we all saying the same thing.
Facts.
You're putting out crappy movies. Period.
And it's universal because what we're saying is reflected in the comments. I mean, Gray said WB has all of the DC characters in-house, meaning they had the rights to every character they own. They didn't hoard their characters out like Marvel did in the 90s and early 2000s and had to spend all that time getting all of their characters back. They had all of their characters in-house and still got it wrong with casting choices and trying to play catch-up to Marvel. Facts. Paul Martin said WB has had control of their superheroes for decades. They should have killed the live-action game. Facts. Why not? Writing. Shitty writing. I'm gonna just say it. That's what it is. Diabolical Nerd said the boys Invincible both just have great writing. See? And they have a sense of direction, unlike the examples. Paul Martin said, with the exception of some of the Batman movies, the one thing DC has done better in live action than Marvel is unapologetically embrace the fantastic without trying to ground it. Okay. Because a comic book based adventure is supposed to be a comic book based adventure. I think too many of us as nerds and blurs and things like that, we always want to explain the science of fantasy. And to me, in some instances, that takes away from the enjoyment of the overall product. Give me a basic understanding of how things work in this universe, and that's all you need for a movie. If you want to tell me about the magic and the properties of Uru being like nanotechnology that emits gravitons when someone unworthy touches it, I mean, no, they just ain't worthy. I don't need that long scientific explanation. They just ain't worthy. And leave it at that.
I go back to what I said. You got people running these comic book entertainment groups that are not comic book fans. That's what that is. They've admitted it. They don't even want to hire comic book fans. So if you don't want to hire a comic book fan, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you probably don't talk to comic book fans. You don't rock with comic book fans. You don't get along with comic book fans. Thus, more than likely, you're not a comic book fan. So why are you overseeing comic book based projects?
That is the $64 million question, Theo. Why are you beating that dead horse and you don't even ride horses? Exactly right. I don't get that part of it. If you are doing a comic book movie, get some learning. You don't go into a horror movie. I'm gonna be directing this horror movie, but I ain't got no experience directing horror movies. I ain't talked to Stephen King. I ain't talked to Rob Zombie. I ain't talked to M. Night Shyamalan. I ain't talked to none of them greats that made horror movies. I just went out and made a horror movie with no knowledge or understanding of the horror movie genre. It's gonna bomb.
But we showing them though. See, that was the whole thing. Remember someone said, well, they don't make movies for the comic book fan. And he said it like that was a badge of honor, like they said with their chest, like that was some confidence. I'd have kicked back on that. I did kick back and I'm like, you making a comic book based movie. I love the fact that the comic book fan has been showing over the past 2 to 3 years, we are comic book fans. You gonna hear what we gonna say, or you gonna lose this change. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think not one comic book fan had anything good to say about Secret Invasion. Now Samuel Jackson, as much as I love him, he can say about whatever he wants to.
Bruh, you know what? You know what? Perfect segue. Perfect segue. Let's talk about Secret Invasion. Let's have us a but first let me get these last couple comments about these great cinematic movies Warner Brothers is putting out. I refuse to continue to pay for the disrespect. That's what Diabolical Nerds say. Let them keep telling the best story they know how to tell, said one Nate Handkerchief Head Moore stated. I'm done. Hey, Gray out here. Gray out here giving away vital plot lines. But since you don't let the cat out the bag, we're going to get to that too. He said, I hope they get the new Transformers G.I. Joe universe right. Yeah, that last Transformers movie, at the end, they made reference to sharing the same universe as G.I. Joe. So, if we gonna have a Transformers G.I. Joe shared universe, I'm with Gray. Y'all better get it right. They had shared Transformers G.I. Joe universe in the comics. They had shared G.I. Joe Transformers universe on the cartoon. Why can't we have a shared G.I. Joe universe cinematically? Do it right, though. Don't give me no BS. Don't bring Channing Tatum and The Rock back. Don't bring them back. We don't want to see them in nothing G.I. Joe related.
I think if you have the people that are over the Transformers do the movie, I like his chances for success. I think if you bring anybody over from the G.I. Joe, because I wasn't really. Battleship was better than both G.I. Joe movies. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. So I don't really want nobody from G.I. Joe.
I dig that. Paul Martin said, my ex-brother, an engineer, made the Iron Man watching experience annoying by trying to compare it to actual science. See, yeah, that's that BS I be talking about. It's fantasy. It's steeped in fantasy. There is no such thing as vibranium, Negro. Sit down and enjoy the damn movie. Stop trying to science it up. I mean, sometimes when it's some inconsistencies, I'll mention it in a movie, but I ain't like just smashing the whole movie down to pieces. Why are you messing up everybody's movie going experience? We are paying customers like everyone else, and we respond with our wallets. That's what I'm talking about, Gray.
You say you don't try and explain anything, like you let people enjoy the experience. Like, for instance, I would never try and explain to people why the Skrulls shouldn't be mad at Nick Fury, why they should either be mad at Carol Danvers or the Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's literally been going on since they've been.
They need to be mad at the producers of this movie. Y'all don't watch y'all own shit. Is what I saw from that first episode. Y'all do not watch your own shit. Okay, at the end of Captain Marvel, what was happening, gang? What was Captain Marvel doing?
Beating the hell out of some Kree trying to liberate the Skrulls.
Well, after that, When her and Nick parted ways and he gave her the beeper, what was Carol going to do?
She was supposed to be going to help find him another damn planet.
Why are they still on Earth? Are they going to explain that during this series?
Nope.
Where was the last place we saw Agent Ross?
Everett Ross?
Yes. Where did we see Everett Ross?
He was being broke out of a vehicle by Koye, who had on the Midnight Angel armor.
And then what happened?
I don't know. I don't think I stuck around long enough after that.
He wasn't supposed to be running around free. Was he?
No, he was supposed to be in hiding or something like that, right? Because she broke him out. He should have been with a Koye.
Why? Why did everybody and their mama know that Everett Ross was a Skrull? I knew 10 seconds after I seen him on the screen that was a Skrull. How did I know that?
So the guy that was with T'Challa was a Skrull?
They done already set it up. Dude's a Skrull. How long he been kicking it? You see what I'm saying?
Hold on. Somebody said it on Twitter today. I think it was yeah. I'm gonna give him his props and everything like that. Student of the game.
T'Challa is. I was just saying it because it was plausible at that time. But now, again, like Marvel always do, they don't went ahead, open mouth, inserted foot. Look what we did. Ooh, Agent Ross is a Skrull. So how many other people related with Wakanda are Skrulls?
Listen, if I'm Marvel, this one I'll be like, people act like they don't be listening. No, they be listening. If I'm Marvel, that's a goose egg right there. That's an Easter egg. I'm taking that one and I'm running with it. I'm like, hey, what's the fan reaction?
Y'all setting it up.
Social media is supposed to be about basically giving you an end to your fan base. Before it used to be people had to mail stuff in. Now you're able to go on social media and take a look at what your fans want. If I was to see that someone is hinting around, hey man, T'Challa might need to be a Skrull, and I know you want to tap into the Wakanda money. Like, there's no way going forward in the Marvel universe you get to tell good stories and it don't include Wakanda at some point in time. If Vibranium is there, you better say this dude was a Skrull. You better take this chance. Save your ass.
Bruh. And that lines up because when he died, the casket ascended. Ain't nothing ascending in Wakanda. They don't do that. Not with their kings.
You can bail out that lazy ass writing by Ryan Coogler. Like, the reason why Shooty had to recreate the heart-shaped herb was because the Skrull didn't have the heart-shaped herb in him. Now, you got to figure out when did T'Challa disappear. Now, that's what we got to figure out. Was it at the end of Endgame? Like, when did he leave?
When did they grab T'Challa? Exactly.
But if you want this change, now, see, I ain't got to beg you to take my money. Now, that's one thing about the Rock With Me Nation. That's one thing about Be Real with D-Real. We don't have to beg you. We got enough T'Challas. We don't have to beg you. You need our money. We don't need it. We would love it.
And see, now you see what Gray said in the comments. Gray said he ascended the saber. Okay. Y'all making it too easy, Marvel. You're making it too easy, man. You are writing it for yourself, and then you're turning around and saying, we couldn't do it. You're giving yourself all of these outs, all of these reasons, all of these excuses, all of these plausible ideas that will work like a mug. Go on and let little TJ be a Skrull.
Listen.
That's a better story. Maybe TJ can be that guy who forms the what is it called? The Skrull kill crew. Maybe he could be that guy. Will we see them during Secret Invasion? Maybe age him up and make him that dude. So instead of eating Skrull cow and getting his powers, he's half Skrull. Y'all take they take everything and make it their own anyway, right? There you go. It's all yours.
Hey, you better figure it out. Because I know the thing is, we dug in and we ain't going nowhere. We ain't got to. So, like I said, figure it out.
Paul has a very valid question. Why, in 15 years, are the only MCU villains that are truly evil for the hell of it are Claw, Hela, and Stain? All dead, too, I might add. So, the world will never know. Just like we don't know how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. I don't care what y'all say. That owl bit it early.
Well, you know what it is. If I'm not a comic book fan, see, that's the whole thing. Nate Moore need to be terminated for more than one reason. But the fact that the dude is quoted as saying, "Hey, anybody that's a diehard comic book fan, that's been out a red flag to us." It's no surprise then why y'all movies are hot garbage, because y'all ain't hiring comic book fans.
And you know what? For me, Theo, it ain't even got to be a comic book fan. Just let it be somebody comic book savvy. Let it be somebody who understands the nuances.
Wouldn't that be a comic book fan? Because I don't think you get that without somebody being a fan of the comic book.
You get into comics to direct this movie. Get into comics to write this movie. I mean, you ain't got to stay collecting comics, but at least read the source material. And my God, if Secret Invasion is any indication, watch your own damn movies. Remember how they end. Remember the Easter eggs.
The same thing, because I don't think one has to have action figures to be a comic book fan. I think you have to have a healthy respect and appreciation for the genre. And so everything that you just said, that you alluded to, that somebody should have, that's a comic book fan, whether they got the merch, comic books, action figures, because they care. That's the person that'll be able to tell you the story without having a damn comic book in their hand. That's a comic book fan.
All day. So all day. I was doing it today in the grocery store.
Right. We got people, and they're not comic book fans, and it has been the biggest lie ever told. There's no way in the world you're a comic book fan and you can't tell comic book based movies. That's not a science fiction movie. That's not a horror movie. That's not a spy movie. It's a comic book movie. And a comic book movie can incorporate all of those. But it still, at the end of the day, must be a comic book movie, and they don't know how to tell it.
Bruh, folks don't win nuts in the comments. they don't win nuts. Paul Martin said, I had an idea years ago that Wakanda had captured and flipped scrolls for espionage purposes. Ooh. Paul Martin also says Natasha Romanoff could be a Skrull. Ooh.
Need to be.
Gray said, say that Kang snatched T'Challa out of the time stream using Renslayer and Miss Minutes. See, and that's just some Negroes in some chat coming up with bomb ass ideas like that. Maybe you need to hire some of us. I'm just saying. Nate's on that list. Bob Iger steady firing folks. Yeah, Nate need to be on the chopping block. Edward Stewart said, what if Queen Ramonda was a Skrull in Wakanda forever too? I would enjoy that quite thoroughly, Edward.
Get more answer like that.
Exactly. Diabolical said, to continue the negative black trope, Coogler will have Maury Povich on to declare that T'Challa is not the father. I love it. Boy, you got a keen sense of humor. Paul Martin said, time displaced teen T'Challa makes more sense than a T'Challa Jr. I agree. TJ as a Skrull tracks, giving them a way to infiltrate and take over Wakanda. Boom. There you go. So you heard it right here, from the folks that rock with Theo, from the folks that rock with D-Real. Solid ideas. If y'all are watching, if y'all are monitoring, if y'all are spying, take some of them ideas.
Do you want to change? Do you want to change? And now, if you don't want to change, and I think we didn't show you, we're not just gonna give it to you. It's our money. Our money.
I'll tell you right now, I ain't giving you a damn thing. I'm telling you right now, y'all ain't gonna get a grunion out of me making this BS. I'm not one red cent, as my mama say. I ain't giving them one red penny.
Keep cutting off your nose to spite your face. Whatever agendas you got, keep on doing what you do. If you like it, I love it. It's just my money. Like, period. Can't nobody pressure me into spending my money. Like that's what I need folks to understand. I don't give a damn who doing the review. I don't give a damn who in the movie. I don't give a damn who is directing. I don't give a damn who the executive. You can't make me spend my money.
That part.
And I think if you look at me and D-Real's background, our walls and stuff like that, I think it's safe to say we don't mind spending some change.
I'll spend the money, but it's got to be on something worthwhile. I do not deem this BS y'all been putting out for the better part of a year or two worthy of my greenbacks, of my blues. I'm not getting ready to spend them because y'all putting out a BS product. Well, how that old saying go? Just because you put syrup on doo-doo don't make it pancakes.
Don't make it pancakes.
You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, like, I mean, like, listen, we could talk about this forever in a day, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be us saying the same thing. No, our money spoke volumes. Our money still speak. Our money still speak volumes. Like, we ain't gotta have long conversations with Marvel. We don't. Our wallet's speaking real nice.
Yes. My money is singing at the opera, bro. Y'all, we just fine. You ain't getting there. Not there. Not there. Not none of it. Not that.
If you don't want to put chili, on my hamburger like I asked you to, you ain't got to. But I ain't got to buy that hamburger.
Okay. Real quick. Goodness gracious, I have gotten through all of my topics except one. Okay. Paul Martin said he had a problem with the new BP being $4.99.
The new what?
The new Black Panther. What new Black Panther you talking about, Paul Martin? That cost $4.99.
The comic book?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's $1, bruh. That's $1. $1. T'Challa ain't worth $1 more, Paul. He said, "What's up?"
I get student discount.
Hey, I already told y'all, man. I take advantage of that stuff. Y'all can say what y'all want to say, but if they want to give me discounts for stuff, I'm in like Flynn. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, man. Go ahead and pay that money, bruh. Just for that one issue anyway. Real quick, y'all. The last topic of the night is about action figure articulation. Does it matter? It depends. Now, me and Theo was jabbering earlier. Now, if y'all missed the video on this little ditty right here, this is the Marvel Legends and Kenner Ghost Rider 3.75. That's real nice. 3.75 inches is what it is. So it's about a quarter of an inch shy of 4 inches. But this ain't my issue. It's nice looking. See, it presents well. But as far as what this figure can do, not a damn thing. The arms don't bend. The legs don't bend. The torso don't bend. It's literally a 1977 action figure. And for all intents and purposes, you could have made this action figure in 1977, and it probably would have been compatible with a few play sets. So now the question becomes, how important is articulation? Now, for something like this that I'm just displaying, and I like how it looks too. So that's me. I like that the wheels roll. That's really cool. But that's just me. That's how I feel about it. Other people are huge sticklers for articulation. Now, yeah, exactly, Gray, like one of them old Star Wars figures. Now, here's a different articulation issue. This is Spider-Man 2099. I think this figure dropped in like 2005, 2006, something like that. And if I'm trying to pose Miguel O'Hara here in the classic pose that he's in on the cover of Spider-Man 2099, issue number 1, I'm going to have a difficult time making it do that, because that's all the bend that this Miguel is willing to give. So you can't really bust that pose. So that's another issue with articulation. When you got a character, that gets in poses that bend up and fold up and all of that kind of thing, and you don't want to bend up and fold it up in no kind of way. Some of us buy our action figures to pose them. If you've seen Theo, if you've seen myself, we get action figures and we put them in different poses, different kind of scenarios, things like that. That Ghost Rider is limited in what I can put him in. This Spider-Man 2099 is limited in what I can put him in. Now, action figures have not always been stiff. Don't hate on 1977. That was just Kenner. Now, back in 77, this right here, what Mego was doing. That is Force Commander. And Force Commander is held by magnets. Magnets got a little more articulation, but not too much. It was an innovative idea. It was a cool idea. It worked better than just those stiff plastic figures. And the fist launched off. Hang on. I got one more for you. Now, with my man right here, yes, D-Real keeps up with his toys. This fella right here from all the way back in 1976 had almost no articulation at all. See how stiff it is? It's pretty stiff, ain't it? Okay. Great Mazinga, one of the Shogun Warriors, didn't really need a whole bunch of articulation, did he? Standing at 24 inches, it didn't matter. And he launched missiles like crazy. So if you're not going to give me articulation, give me something else. Let me launch missiles at mugs. Let me launch big old fists at mugs. That'll make me forget about how stiff this figure is. Don't just give me a stiff figure that don't do nothing. Don't just give me a stiff figure with no accessories. So, I mean, I guess that's really the crux of what I wanted to get at, because like here we are. This I was going to customize this into a Omni-Man. Yeah, Jay Jonas in head. I was going to paint it, repaint it, repurpose it, customize it into an Omni-Man. But then I thought, they already got an Omni-Man. They came out with an Omni-Man figure. So it doesn't really, a custom Omni-Man ain't going to hit the same way. You know what I mean? So articulation, it's about articulation, but depending on what you want to do with your figures, articulation may or may not be the thing to do. I got one comment on articulation. Hooray. Diabolical said, Articulation matters for me for my toy photography and poses, and also more collectible. But for the motion stop animation that I'm doing, I would rather have less articulation like Lego figures. I will keep that in mind, sir. I will keep that in mind because I got a few Masters of the Universe figures, and they articulation is a lot less than say a Marvel Legends. Um, he would be, yeah, it would have been perfect for Omni Man, but like I said, they got an Omni Man figure now. Theo, can you see any of what's going on, or are you just on your phone?
No, sir. I'm actually seeing you what you got going on.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure you wasn't missing out on none of the fun stuff that was going on visually.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. We got at least 3 different ways of viewing you and everything like that. Even on the cell phone, we can take it to the YouTube channel because I got the YouTube channel on you.
Awesome.
Got you,
awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. So, Q&A time, kiddies. Q&A time. What questions y'all got for me in regard to our current pop culture diaspora, social media, so on and so forth? This should be a doozy. What y'all thinking about out there in chat land? What's on your mind? I know Jeffrey Lane was in here earlier, and he a big DC head, and I know Ashura was in here earlier, and he's a big question head. So anybody, somebody, nobody. Oh, I had a comment. Well, Diabolical say he had a comment up above about Secret Invasion. Not necessarily a question. Okay. He said Secret Invasion. What happened to Nick Fury? And I can throw in Natasha being super soldiers too. Both were supposed to have delayed aging and whatnot. Just a thought. Retcon. Natasha shouldn't have been that young anyway to begin with. Looks like Pennywise from the profile. Ooh. Okay. One of those Star Wars figures from that. Articulation matters for me. Yeah, I already read that. Good Omni Man. The Mego superheroes were held together by rubber bands. Yes, Paul Martin. I remember that because I snapped the rubber bands in my Incredible Hulk and couldn't get his leg back on anymore. Yeah, I found out the hard way. those Mego 8-inch action figures that had actual cloth clothing on them. Yeah, rubber bands. The whole shebang. So, no questions, no comments, no discussion. What do I think about this? How do I feel about that? Ain't none of that to go on. Ain't none of that popping in comments. Or maybe I need to slow down because they're behind me. Theo, you said you had something on your mind. What did you want? Man, what did you want to express?
I gotta fix my war machine.
Mm-hmm.
The leg popped off on it.
What? So you talking about your war machine now?
The deluxe war machine action figure.
Did you buy it new?
It ain't nothing some crazy glue can't handle, but you know.
Did you buy it new?
Yep.
Well, you got your miles out of that sucker. Yeah, Nick Fury did look bad on Secret Invasion. I think Samuel L. getting up there and he don't give a damn no more. He like, I ain't wearing that. I ain't putting on no eye patch. Y'all put on some makeup. And to me, man, that just waters down the legend of Nick Fury. That ain't no rugged war wound. It's a cat scratch.
That's what it is.
I mean, you can give it the fancy alien name you want to. But at the end of the day, it's a cat with tentacles in his mouth that can eat people. But it's still a cat. A lion's a cat. A jaguar is a cat. It's a cat. A Freckle or a Merkel or a Burkle or whatever the hell it was. It's a cat. Whenever y'all get finished. It's a damn cat. Am I lying?
No.
Okay. That's a cat all day. So Nick Fury don't got a war wound. He got a cat scratch. Word. See, that the watered down MCU does not work for me no more. because of stuff like that. And because of, what I saw in Secret Invasion. It's like, man, y'all ain't paying attention to y'all movies. How y'all expect us to?
Listen, it's going to be one of them things where I don't want the superhero genre to hit rock bottom again for them to get it right. And I'm believing like it's too much arrogance going on behind the camera. It's too much arrogance going on. We can just put out what we want to. And instead of dealing with the topic at hand, they want a name call. The actors want to insult the directors. Hey, we doing what we feel is best. Then you have people they gonna get people stoked up to go see the movie to turn right back around after the movie come out to bash the movie. It's like it's not enough real people in the industry. So I don't know. Maybe they just need to stop doing superhero movies. Maybe that is what needs to happen because they don't care. You have people that are more concerned about being popular than putting out a good product. So to hell with it.
I feel like, Theo, it's in the wash, rinse, dry, repeat cycle. You know what I'm saying? They got a system of how they churn it out, and it's a factory. And I think Gray said he quantified it quite aptly in the chat. The Disneyfication of everything Marvel. And that's exactly what's happening. You know what I'm saying? They watering down characters. They OPing others. And it's like, okay, the dynamic with that character does not sit where it should with in relation to the other characters in this movie or in the scene. So it's like, okay, casuals don't see that discomfort. Average movie fans don't see that discomfort. But people you've forsaken, people you've ignored, we see it. We the ones got y'all on. We the fans are the ones that put y'all on. Would nobody have even came if it wasn't for us? Would nobody
I mean, they don't believe that.
Wouldn't nobody be fucking with Marvel or DC movies if it wasn't for us? Nobody.
Watch this. I cannot imagine anybody playing Footloose and I mean, we can say it right now because Disney does own Star Wars. But a Star Wars comic book fan, you can never take a Star Wars comic book fan lightly. A Star Wars fan, let me say that because it's not, they do have comic books and everything like that. But you would never fix your mouth and say, well, we don't really put out movies for Star Wars fans. We put out movies for casuals. You would never fix your mouth to say that.
But it's precisely what they do.
Much like with the other important genres out there, you wouldn't fix your mouth to say anything crazy about a Stephen King fan. Like, well, they don't really put out movies for Stephen King fans. They put out movies for casuals. You would never utter your mouth to say that. But what we have, and it pissed me off when I thought about it, we have too many people in media saying they comic book fans and they not comic book fans. They movie critics, movie reviewers, whatever you want to call them. They're not comic book fans. But they play like it. So they encourage people to get excited for a bad product. They encourage the studio to put out bad product. Just for them to turn around after the movie over and say, well, it was bad. No, you lied. You had no integrity as a journalist. You played yourself as a comic book fan when you don't know and you don't care about comic books. And that's fine. You don't have to. Stop misleading people. Stop misleading the studio.
There could not be better words spoken. What we got here? Have y'all seen the plastic comic book holders that serves the same purpose as boxes? Now they sell these. Okay. Craziest thing ever. Someone making a comic book movie but don't want anyone to read comics involved. I don't get that for the life of me, diabolical. Gray said Watch Mojo did a top 10 Chadwick Boseman performances. They even delineated between Civil War T'Challa and Black Panther T'Challa because there is a huge difference between the two. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if I'm being honest, I enjoyed the Civil War T'Challa more.
I did. I did.
I didn't like how that movie ended. I didn't like how his story arc ended, but I enjoyed that T'Challa more because to me, he was more, relentless.
He was more T'Challa.
Yeah, he was relentless, unyielding. You can hit me, I'm getting back up, and I'm hitting you just as hard as you hit me, if not harder.
One of the truest lines that he uttered in the movie that sounded like something T'Challa would have said when Hawkeye introduced himself and he said, "Hi, my name's Clint." And he said, "I don't care." I was like, "Yeah, that's him."
I ain't here for laughing and jokes and all of that. I'm not here for that. And that's how he brought it to him, bruh. Man, you and all these little sticks. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got time for all this. That's where he was. I'm trying to get to the cat to kill my daddy. You need to move.
People so fragile in their egos in comic book portrayal. In that movie, you have no problem showing us Steve Rogers hold a helicopter with one arm. No problem whatsoever. But you literally want us to believe that there was a back and forth between T'Challa and Clint at the airport. No, that was a one-hitter quitter. That ain't lasting long at all.
And that's basically kind of what he did to him.
No, they had him going back and forth and everything.
He was shooting arrows that was having no effect. And then when he took his bow and decided he was getting ready to do something, how long did that last?
Good. You know how they say you can never satisfy some people? I might not have been one of them people that was satisfied with that scene. I'm like, no, he needed that. That fight took way too long for all I'm concerned.
Well, I mean, because you got Hawkeye fans, and we don't want to 100% disappoint the Hawkeye fan. That's why they made Hawkeye more gangster in Endgame than he was in Civil War. It's like, okay, now
wait, hold on. Can we talk about that?
Sure.
Who got from Hawkeye in any Avenger movie? He was this sword-wielding homicidal maniac. Like, he even had them tendencies. Like, who thought that? I told my wife, I said, I get it. I said, but in the comics, we know that he got trained by the swordsman. Still don't know why he chose bows and arrows, but in the comics,
and why is
trained by the swordsman.
Why did they make the swordsman a joke in Hawkeye?
See what I'm saying? As a comic book fan, you can explain to me in the comics why he killing people with a sword, because I know he got trained by a sword-wielding criminal. There's nothing that you've done in the MCU to give me any indication. He even got that skill set. Killer? Yeah. I believe you can be a killer with a bow and arrow.
They made Swordsman into a clown, though. He's just yeah. And then you're gonna steal Hawkeye's sword. What? You're the swordsman. Why are you stealing people's swords? You should have your own sword that's like 10 times better than his. But you watered him down. You made him into a cat who needed to depend on his wife. At least that's the energy.
Watch what I say when I say this. You introduced the swordsman. How many YouTubers hype people up about that appearance of the swordsman? There wasn't nothing to get hyped up about.
Not at all. I felt bad. I felt bad for the character, actually. I'm like, here we go. You are taking a perfectly good character and turning him into a damn clown.
What about She-Hulk? Who is excited about Thunder? I'm like, oh, we finna get Thunder? Okay, that's what's up. Okay.
Titania?
Titania. I'm like, okay, yeah, we finna get. Oh, that's it? That's what you're doing? Oh.
I can't. And it's like they keep doing that, and they keep doing that, and they keep doing that. You keep putting these type of characters in front of us. You keep parading these. To me, it's like a caricature of a character. It like that. Yeah, that's him, but that's the joke version of him. That's the blown out of proportion him. That's the, okay, we overcompensating for things him. You know what I mean? most Marvel characters in the MCU.
I'm gonna chop this thing up because I'm gonna get ready for work and everything.
Yeah, bro.
But I think Thor with his ass out was it. Like it wasn't it for me because I've been going. But I think you really let it be known for no reason whatsoever, Thor had his ass cheeks out.
That was for the ladies.
And then in that same damn movie, you talked about Bass and did not a damn thing with her.
You blink, you'd have missed her.
You know they talked about Bass in the Moon Knight series and Thor: Love and Thunder and did not a damn thing with her.
Well, anything they could have done with Bass would have made the character that was on the screen currently look stupid. That's what would have happened. And that's just my opinion. I feel like if they would have went on ahead and even let Bass flex for a second, let her take on that Panther aspect. Well, who in the omniverse of gods? I mean, maybe somebody have been able to fade it, but she'd gave a lot of them folks that was in there a hard time.
They're not gonna do it. That's too much like right. That's too much like right. But hey, if you ain't gonna do it right, don't get mad. I don't spend my money on it.
Okay, what was saying? Okay, yeah, Gray up in here. He said Marvel suck ups. Every character does not need to be used. Eternals, for example. Gray said you'll have a wannabe influencer say he just did some martial arts poses and that's it. I think he's saying in reference to T'Challa. Ultimate Hawkeye would have had that mentality. Yeah, but he got that work too. MCU Hawkeye? Nah, nope. Disney-fied. Disney-fied She-Hulk too. Disney-fied Mandarin until they fixed it. I ain't sure they fixed the Mandarin.
Right, I'm with you on that one.
Because you still ended up killing him. Why? I ain't even gonna go into that because that's a whole nother show. If I start talking about why they kill all their damn villains all the time, that's one big reason why you ain't got a super villain group in the MCU because all them jokers dead. But
you got like 4-5 prisons in the MCU.
You got the Raft. Why do you have the Raft? Who's in it? Why do I need to make an undersea prison for regular mugs?
You know what? I don't even want to say this, but it's true. It's true. We got more villains in our action figure collection than they got in the MCU.
Bruh. All they got to do is keep them alive. Stop killing them. You got to name off as many villains as you can in the MCU. Living or dead. Just name them all off. Whether it was a cameo, whether it was a full appearance, whatever.
Grayskull, MIA, Obadiah Stane, dead. Whiplash, dead. Mandarin, dead. Vulture, still alive. Scorpion, still alive. Green Goblin, still alive, I think. I don't think we killed. Mysterio, dead. Thanos, dead. Kane, at least one of them, a couple of them, dead. Hela, dead. Surtur, dead. Loki, the bad one, dead. Wait a minute. Gore the God Butcher, dead. What's we call it? The judge, Ronan, dead. There's quite a few dead folk around here.
We missed MODOK, dead. Ghost. I don't know what's going on. She's gonna be in the Thunderbolt. She's gonna be in the Thunderbolts apparently. Ego, dead. Jan Rog. I don't know what's going on with Jan Rog.
Right. MIA.
Okay. That's what else? Claw.
Hold on.
Claw.
Thanos.
Claw. Dead. Claw. So what I'm getting at here, because Gray is naming them off as we say them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
No,
7, 8.
Volts is still alive. Tell them Volts is still alive.
No, he's not naming off dead ones. He's just naming off villains.
Oh, okay.
9, 10.
Batroc dead.
Pretty much, except for with the exception of 1 or 2 of them, all of them are dead.
Crossbones dead.
All of them, most of them, with the exception of 1 or 2, are dead. They think that's what's supposed to happen with a villain. What message are you sending when you say, I'm a hero and I believe in preserving life, saving life, protecting life, and everybody I go up against end up getting killed?
I mean, I think you, just me personally, I think you being, you know.
That's an anti-hero. That's a vigilante.
Yeah, he is, but I think he's taking care of the problem before the problem get even worse. So, you know, that's kind of like my guy. But I'm being petty.
And see, and guess what? He named Aldrich Killian. Also dead.
Don't know why. He would have made a pretty good villain, long-term villain too.
There are a lot of the people that he named off, that Gray named off in the chat, that would have made great villains. There are a lot of those that you could have combined and made a team of villains. You could have made a Avengers equivalent. That's the whole purpose that the Masters of Evil was formed in Avengers number 6, all the way back in 1963, because we was tired of individually getting our asses kicked by these guys. Let's form a squad like they formed a squad, and maybe we'll be able to beat it. Now, said no villain in the MCU ever.
Dude, but you got to be a comic book fan to care about stuff like that, though. See what I'm saying?
And that's why that's why these cats ain't got no business making superhero movies. Because ain't nobody gave me no raw supervillain team. And the Black Order don't count. They henchmen. The Black Order were Thanos' lackeys. They were not a team of villains that had their own agenda. They did whatever Thanos said to do. That's a henchman.
Listen, all day, but you know, hey, they like it. I love it.
You know what? I'm with you. I'm done trying to help them put money in their pocket. Go ahead,
listen. You know what? I ain't ever, you know what? I'm not gonna beg nobody to take my money. I ain't got to. I don't know. Listen. I went through a period where I wasn't doing comic books. I went through a period where I wasn't doing superhero movies and everything like that. You know what I still had at the end of the day to get me through? The memories of stories that I had read. Every now and then you get the cartoon and the animation and everything like that. But in my lifetime, I think quite a few of us can attest to it. We have more good memories of superhero related content than we do of bad ones. I think the bad ones are few and far between, to be perfectly honest with you. So I'm not inclined to spend my money on you. Between the comics, I can relive certain stories. Between the action figures, I can tell newer stories. I can be reminded of my childhood when I walk into my room. I don't need to pay $15, $20 to walk into no movie theater to be reminded of that. If you're not going to give me what you want, what I want, fine. I'm fine. We'll come on here. We'll do comic book reviews. We'll do action figure reviews. We ain't got to talk about no damn movie.
Not at all. Not at all. Paul said they believe a man can be good by nature, Steve Rogers, but villains can't be evil by nature. That's the whole idea. Either that or run with the premise that they had. All villains think that their cause is righteous. That makes it even more twisted. You know what I'm saying? So what we got here? Goes back to poor, lazy writing. They don't care for multi-development stories. The villains I grew watching would get beat but come back with another diabolical master plan. Cobra Commander, Skeletor, Mumra, they ain't dead. They live to plot another day. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
what person in their right? What you say? What's up there?
How many seasons of Earth's Mightiest Avengers did we get with reoccurring villains? 2.
Like 2 seasons.
Avengers Assemble. 5 seasons.
Five.
Villain.
5.
Justice League. How many seasons?
2.
Recurring villain.
2.
Justice League Unlimited. How many seasons? Recurring.
2.
Spider-Man. Hell, damn. Pick any Spider-Man cartoon first.
And you saw them bad guys more than once. They wasn't dead. Killing somebody should be an event, not a plot device.
I got a wealth of stuff that I can do between animated and comic books. Villains come back. Hey, I'm gonna let them be great. The casuals got it. The superhero fans got it. The movie studio know what they're doing.
And Paul said we haven't even seen any organized crime, any real organized crime in the MCU. The tracksuit gang, I think that's close as it got. You know why? Because Marvel doesn't focus on street level shit. They go straight cosmic. That's why you don't see no organized crime. All their stories and plot lines take place in space, another universe, another reality, another multiverse. It's plenty of shit that deal with right there on the streets of New York, on the streets of LA, wherever you want to put the streets at. The streets talk. They got problems going on. But we ain't even touched that. You know what I'm saying? Killed that whole Netflix vibe. That Netflix Marvel stuff, that had that Marvel Knights energy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was getting off of it. Like, okay, it's street level and it's on the cusp of some other stuff, but they still keep it street. They said, nope, that ain't working. Disney hasn't figured out that you need recurring villains for a continuing universe. They are one-offing villains like their Disney classic animated movies. Facts. That is facts all day. Punisher couldn't work in the MCU because the heroes are so nonchalant about villains dying. No moral high ground.
Right.
Yeah, in the MCU, the Punisher would just be another hero.
He would. You know, it ain't no difference between Frank Castle and Steve Rogers. Steve getting them up out of there too.
Steve Rogers just give him more chances than Frank. But he end up offing them. I mean, but that was continuity, so he didn't have no choice. I get that.
Steve ain't got no love for them boys like that.
He throwing folks out of tanks.
Come on.
That was a big old tank. And he just reached in there and threw my man out of there. Bruh. He was killing some. I mean, it's war, but yeah, let's go ahead and call it that. He is a soldier, so he was just doing his job. But yeah, ultimately, it's just like you said, Theo. If y'all don't want to make the kind of projects that people want to see, that your fans want to see, Marvel and DC, that's cool. But I'm not that hard up for a superhero show or a superhero movie that I'm willing to just settle for the garbage and crap that they just gonna drop on us and pass it off as good entertainment or adequate entertainment. If you're gonna make a movie about some stuff that's comic based, do your research. Period.
Listen, they ain't got to. You know what I like about this more than anything else?
What's that?
What I love about it more than anything else, it used to be you could tell people that kind of like want to say some slick stuff because me and you look like how we looked and everything. So they leave little snide little comments when we was, criticizing stuff. Okay. Well, you know what? It just so happened that the stuff D-Real and Theo was talking about, people that don't look like D-Real and Theo saying the same damn thing. So you know what? I'm good. I promise you. That's why I don't care. I don't care. I'm not gonna force you to make me spend some money on you.
Hey, like my brother used to say, I'm gonna leave y'all to it. I'm gonna let y'all go and do what y'all do. Gray said they said a boycott isn't feasible. Boy, was they wrong.
What did we hear? All kind of boycotts don't work. But you say which is
why are you boy? Oh man, if you'd have seen all the people came in my comments when I put up my boycott video. Boycott, you're overreacting. Boycott it. Why are you taking money out of celebrities' mouths?
Watch this. You had people that swear up and down they were Chadwick Boseman fans asking people who wanted to boycott the movie, what good does a boycott do? So you don't know Chadwick did the same damn thing? Wow. But you're a Chadwick Boseman fan. Okay. Come on. That
part right there. That part. And it's like it's irritating. It was irritating to see, man. Some of the stuff I was hearing is like, okay, they ain't dealing in common sense. They ain't dealing in common sense. You know what I'm saying? And I did like one of the simplest videos I ever did was I put the definition of the word honor up before the video. This is what honor is. You telling me what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to rehash all of that, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Honor my ass. You know what I'm saying? That's not honor. That's a word to keep you from criticizing.
And that's all it was. The wordplay started on December 10th, 2020, when that dude said iconic. After that, it was I've never seen so many people that call themselves intelligent just go for anything somebody say. Like, you literally know what the definition of that word is. You got a cell phone. They using so many words, and you not bothering to look at it. It is what it is at the end of the day. What did she say? I could have freed more slaves if what?
They had knew they were slaves.
Right. So
they didn't even know they were slaves. That's what I'm saying. Right, that's the best kind of tool. The one that don't know is a tool.
Right. So I'm gonna let them be great. I'm gonna let them be great. They own the stuff. They gonna put out what they want to put out. What I got is my money.
Hey, right here, right now. I know I done said it before. I'm gonna say it again. Dead T'Challa is a scroll. Hashtag Dead T'Challa is a scroll. Make that resonate on Twitter. Dead T'Challa is a scroll, because they done told us Dead T'Challa is a scroll. All the stuff they said in Secret Invasion, if Dead T'Challa ain't a scroll, here we go a freaking again with the effery. But yeah, all day, every day. You gotta out. You gotta out. Take it. Marvel, you gotta out. Take it.
You gotta want to take it though.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But they must enjoy us on their necks. They must enjoy us on their back. But look here, bro. I ain't gonna keep you, man. I know you got to get out and get that guap. So
yes, sir. Got to. We're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
How you take us out, man? I like how you take us out.
Okay. Well, look here, y'all. The lives a little different, but Theo, I know all these people in the chat know you, but I mean, if you want to give out your particulars, go ahead and hit them.
Man, y'all know how we get down. I ain't saying, I'm just saying with Theo B, y'all know how we do it. We dropping all kind of stuff all day, every day. We out here for real in these streets when it comes to superhero entertainment, superhero genre type of news and stuff like that. So we're gonna keep the party rolling.
All right, now this has been the they tried to give me technical difficulty issues and they couldn't stop me. Take that. So I appreciate y'all. Gray, I especially appreciate you, man. You was very vocal this evening, bro. I appreciate it. Paul Martin, I appreciate it, man. Diabolical, you know how we get down, bro. Ashura, everybody else is off in here. Grand Madam Tarot, Edward Stewart. All y'all, man. I appreciate everybody that come and rock with me. I especially appreciate everybody who come and rock with me through technical difficulties. Y'all some real ones. I appreciate y'all. Check it out. Live done. But fret not. I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.